Narcissist. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it mean? Or who does it refer to? Well, imagine walking into a room and meeting someone who instantly captivates you. They're confident, charming, and seem larger than life. Their stories are grand, their achievements impressive, and their presence almost magnetic. You can't help but be drawn in. But something feels off. Conversations always seem to revolve around them. Compliments flow in one direction, and if you ever dare to criticize them, even gently, the reaction is explosive. Welcome to the world of the narcissist. A narcissist thrives on admiration. They craft an image of perfection, whether through their appearance, achievements, or the way they present themselves socially. They need to be seen as the best, the smartest, the most successful. But beneath this flawless exterior is a fragile ego, one that crumbles at the slightest hint of failure or rejection. To them, every interaction is a performance, and they must always be the star. Control is their lifeline. In relationships, at work, even in casual conversations, they have to be the one holding the reins. They manipulate with charm when it suits them, and with guilt or intimidation when it doesn't. If you try to challenge their version of events, they'll twist reality until you start doubting yourself. It's not that they enjoy hurting others. It's just that protecting their image is more important than the truth. Empathy? That's where things get tricky. Narcissists aren't necessarily incapable of understanding emotions, but they struggle to care about them, especially when those emotions don't serve their needs. If your pain doesn't benefit them, it's irrelevant. If your success threatens them, they'll downplay it. And if they hurt you, they'll find a way to make it your fault. Praise is their fuel. A narcissist can't function without a steady stream of admiration. Compliments, validation, social media likes, these are more than just boosts to their ego. They're survival tools. When the attention fades, they become restless, irritable, or even depressed. And if they feel ignored for too long, they'll go to great lengths to reclaim the spotlight. Relationships with a narcissist are often one-sided. They view people not as partners or friends, but as resources, things to be used for validation, status, or emotional support. The moment you stop serving a purpose, they lose interest. If you've ever felt like you were only valued for what you could provide rather than for who you are, chances are you were dealing with a narcissist. But beneath the grandiosity, the manipulation, and the hunger for admiration, there's something else, a deep, hidden fear. A fear of being exposed as ordinary, a fear of not being special, a fear that without the constant reinforcement of their superiority, they might not be worth anything at all. This fear is what drives them to avoid vulnerability at all costs. They will never admit fault, never show weakness, never let the world see the cracks in their carefully constructed facade. At first, their charm is intoxicating, but over time, the cracks begin to show. The warmth fades, replaced by control and criticism. The admiration they once showered you with turns into cold indifference, or worse, emotional abuse. The cycle repeats, and before you know it, you're trapped in a relationship where you're constantly trying to please someone who will never truly be satisfied. So, can a narcissist change? The answer is complicated. Some can, with deep self-awareness and a willingness to confront their insecurities. But for many, change is nearly impossible because it requires something they fear most: facing their flaws. Therapy can help, but only if they genuinely want to improve, and that's rare. If you're dealing with a narcissist, the most important thing to remember is this: you can't fix them. You can't love them into changing, and you can't sacrifice your own well-being trying to make them happy. What you can do is set boundaries, protect your energy, and decide how much of your life you're willing to give to someone who will always put themselves first. Narcissism isn't just about arrogance. It's a complex defense mechanism built to mask deep-seated insecurity. Understanding it doesn't mean excusing it, but it does mean recognizing that behind the grandiosity is a person desperately trying to outrun their own fears. And sometimes the best thing you can do is step out of their way and let them keep running.